Hello, good people, and not so good people. You know who you are. I'm Admiral ADD, and welcome to a new series on Old School Runescape. We have seen some amazing YouTube series for this game over the years. Region Locked, Tile Man, Nightmare Mode. I swear I'm not just listing settled series. Chunk Locked, Bronze Man, and many more are coming out every day. I decided I wanted to make my own restricted account. This isn't a new idea. A couple years ago, the Wilderness Phenom and Bane of Lurers Pip did a single video in a similar vein with a collection log locked account, and then never followed up. In theory crafting this, I can see why. I'm going to take this idea, expand on it, and take it to its fullest possibility. I would highly encourage you to go check out his video, which I will link in the description. But what is a collection log locked account? In Pip's original video, each time he unlocked a new collection log slot, it would allow him to gain one new skill level. Simple concept, and quite difficult. The issue is too many logs are locked behind high skill requirements, and there are far less logs than there are levels. After some thought, I decided to include the combat achievement logs. I break down the reasoning and math for this in episode 0, but I came to 3 combat achievement points being required for one skill level to be both reasonable and memorable. With these rules in mind, I will max this account. But without further ado, let's get into the shenanigans. Alright, here we are, the land of Gielinor. Endless opportunity, battles to fight, and levels to gain. Or at least there would be. But first, let's get to naming our character here. LogToMax. Hey, LogToMax, let's take it. Alright. Boom, alright. Now, we gotta set up our design here. We're gonna be filling out the collection log, so let's try to look a little bit wise here. Now, we all know how Tutorial Island works, so I'm gonna just kind of zip through this. So a very important part of what we have to do with this account is we need to be an Ironman. I cannot be trading things, buying things off a Grand Exchange. We need the Ironman aspect because that's a key part of the difficulty. We're just going to talk to this guy. Come on. I'd like to change my Ironman mode. I said this, and yeah, we're just going to go a regular Ironman. I could make it a hardcore, but no. We can now go to the mainland and start our adventure. So right away, I cannot gain any levels because of how this is set up. I mean, technically I could, but that would be breaking the rules of what I intend to do. Now, let's make note on something here. I am not a member. I have deliberately not added any membership onto this account yet because my first grind is going to take some time and it can be done in free-to-play. You may be wondering just how many collection logs are even attainable in free-to-play. There's of course the giant and mossy keys and the big drops from their respective bosses, but I can't fight those yet. But just like in Pip's video and how he started off, I can do Castle Wars, which has 39 collection logs. While some of these can only be purchased in Members Worlds, I can get all the points right in free-to-play. I also have a guide out for the fastest way to get all of your Castle Wars tickets. I won't be doing that method very much, but it is certainly an option if you wanted to rush the log. I will link that video in the description below. One key difference between my run and Pip's is just how much Castle Wars I'm going to be doing. He stopped after finishing all of the faster logs. I'm going to get them all knocked out so I don't have to go back later. Now, something we want to take a look at here. Lanthus. This is our key right here. All of these items we need. Each one of these is a collection log. Now, a lot of these are members items. But that's fine, because they still end up costing a set amount of tickets. And the tickets I can earn in free-to-play. The most expensive single item he has is the decorative plate armor, costing 800 Castle Wars tickets. That is beautiful because every time you buy one of these items, you can just sell it back and do it again and again and again until you have filled out the Castle Wars collection log. So I ran some calcs and I am looking at upwards of 100 hours of basically AFKing this. Probably about 133 hours if I go baseline. But that's why I didn't want to end up going and doing this on any members worlds. So that's just going to burn through the membership for no reason. And I don't want to have had to spend money to do that. Let's just deposit all my stuff. Talk to them. No, we're just going to go jump in. So we ended up being able to get into a game early. Hopefully it's not too early in or too late. Should be enough time though. I'm just gonna hang out here in AFK. And just like that, we've won. We actually ended up with a shutout. I didn't capture anything, but I was able to just AFK, and there is 4 Castle Wars tickets. I'm basically going to be doing most of this just on mobile over the course of the next month or so. But to you, it's not going to be much time at all, just a matter of minutes, with possibly some clips of random events along the way. See you in a month or so. So we just finished a game. Got a whole bunch of tickets, as you can see already. And we've got our first random event that will give us something. So let's go perform a mime show and get a little bit of extra collection log going. Let's just hope I don't end up missing out on the start of the next game. Alright, we got the glass box emote. And nothing else. So that's a very disappointing first random event. Let's get into the next game here. Alright, we've got our first Leo random event. Good chance to get some zombie outfit stuff here. Let's look and see what happens. And we got absolutely nothing, the zombie walk emote. So that's our second failed random event. I mean, we're getting something unlocked, but that's nothing useful for collection logs. Just means that we're going to have to get some more later. Alright, let's get into this final game. It's already started. The team that I'm on is already winning. I just need that pop-up. That's it. I just leave. And that's it. In a moment, this will be done, and it will be time for the next grind. Or time to prepare for it. Before we get on to the next actual part of the journey, and even before we go and unlock all of the collection logs from this, there's a couple quests that we need to go complete. There are a handful of quests in free-to-play that we can do that don't require any levels to be gained at all. So we're going to go get some of those done. Alright, so while I'm working on Romeo and Juliet, let's go and also start Shield of Arav. Specifically, we need to get the Phoenix Gang side because there is one enemy that we're going to have to fight. But it's only Johnny the Beard on this side. If we went the Black Arm Gang, I'd have to fight something notably stronger, which I wouldn't be able to make any progress on. So we're just going to start this direction. No matter how many times I do this Romeo and Juliet quest, I never get tired of the way they managed to end it and just how stupid Romeo is. Yeah, no, I told you, she's not dead. She's sleeping. Okay, go over to her, wake her up. Hey, Juliet, Juliet! Oh dear, you seem to be dead. Hi, Romeo, I'm Philippa. Wow, you're a fox. You're an idiot. It's a shame about Juliet, but perhaps we can meet up later. Who's Juliet? Why are you stupid? And I've completed Romeo and Juliet, which for some reason has some of the most quest points in the game. So I tried to get into the Shield of Arav, and I realized I have like no money. You need to give the one guy like 20 GP just to even start it, and as much as I have, 25, I think it's time I go and get myself a little bit of cash. Having a little bit of difficulty finding some. That's annoying. Until my account is older. Fantastic. Alright, continuing to get some more. I found another world with some, but I'm starting to think that steel plate bodies would probably be faster, but they're much farther from a bank. And there's way more things that can kill me. We're just going to check a couple more worlds, and then if nothing, I'm going to risk going to the plate bodies. Alright, actually, while we were at the bank looking at what we're going to do, we ended up getting a mime show random. This is huge right now. Of course, climb rope emote. So in the end, I've decided that we are going to go for the steel plate body. The steel plate legs are just taking forever to respawn, so I brought my axe to chop the webs, and let's go for it. Alright, so we're hopping through worlds. We were hoping to find the steel plate body spawn because that would be worth a ton. That's irritating. Okay, best backup plan is going to be the Staff of Earth. We'll look at a couple more worlds here though quickly. I made it all the way out here and there's not even the plate bodies. So the backup plan, the Staff of Earth, doesn't have nearly the same value, but it's much easier to attain. It'll have similar value to the plate legs, except it'll actually be here. Just need to make as much money as we can. Boom. There's the plate body. We're gonna go grab that. Oh! That hurt. Now, if I remember this correctly, you stand behind this skeleton. You run out, you grab the plate body. And then you run back. And then we try the next world. Looks like it was just that one plate body, so back over to the staffs. Oh, of course. All right, well, that's not ideal. Oh, but... So one benefit with having died like that and spoken to death, I could just tell him to retrieve my items for me. There we go. It's not a great haul, but it's passable. So let's go sell off our stuff. All right, so for our first batch of stuff here, we're going to go hit up Grum's Gold Exchange. And because I want the most money that I can, I am going to just sell one gold necklace per world. I am also going to need to get a Chronicle. Actually, that Chronicle part is a pretty big point. Let's go grab a Chronicle while I'm here and thinking about it. Also, I just realized I am not the brightest individual. I could have done X marks the spot to make my way from Lumbridge over to Draenor and then Port Sarim. So we're going to go do that right now. So one of the biggest things with the X marks the spot quest is it's providing me a 100% free beginner clue scroll. I still have to weigh out very heavily if I want to actually do it right away or not, because there's the possibility that I'm not able to complete it. If I get just about any Charlie the Tramp step, it's done, because I can't do almost anything from his progression in this area. All right, now that we're here, let's trade Diango, buy a Chronicle, and all the teleport cards I can. All right, so we've given Veos the treasure. He's going to talk a little bit about Corrend. And that is X marks the spot complete, giving us 1 quest point, an antique lamp, 200 coins, ability to retrieve clue scroll boxes, and a beginner clue scroll box. So this antique lamp is worthless to us right now. So we're going to destroy it. And I can get another one from Veos and Port Sarim later. For right now, though, we're going to get rid of that so that I don't make any mistakes before I've actually unlocked all the logs I want, because I will be wanting to use that on Hunter shortly. For right now, let's open this. Let's see if this is even a doable step. It's Charlie the Tramp. That is very worrying for the first step. We'll use one of those, get our way up to Varrock. Let's just see if this even ends up being a doable step or if we just drop it right away anyways. This is a great time to talk about why Charlie the Tramp is such a pain for beginner clues on this account. While beginner clues are the easiest clues in the game, usually just involving running to a location and digging, or using an easily purchasable item, Charlie is unique. Charlie steps were originally intended to all be skill checks. Bring me a raw pike caught by you, I really need a leather body made by you, but in November of 2022, Charlie was given an update that would allow him to accept any of the item, whether it was made by you, picked up from the ground, or even purchased from the Grand Exchange. For main accounts, this is great. If you come across an item for Charlie and you don't have it, no problem, just a quick run to the GE and the task is done. But for Ironman, this is a little more interesting. We don't have the same option to buy off the Grand Exchange. We have to use either shops or skilling methods in order to obtain the items. With me being so restricted on gaining levels, skilling methods are largely off the table at this point, and not all of the items are easily purchasable from shops. While the Iron Dagger can be purchased in the shop right beside Charlie, which is mildly suspicious, the leather body and raw herring can both be purchased or picked up relatively easily, and I can purchase iron ore at one of the Tazar shops after selling some runes for Tokkul. Not every item is so easily doable. Cooked trout, or in-game just called trout, is purchasable from some stores, but those stores are located in Prifddinas, and Song of the Elves isn't even close to being on my radar yet, or the Warriors Guild, which is also quite far away. Raw trout is actually only sold at the Canifis meat store, which isn't too far off, but far enough to prevent me from doing the clue right away. Cooked pike, or just pike, can only be obtained from cooking raw pike, and would require 20 cooking to cook, and can again only be purchased in Canifis if I'm not fishing it myself. That leaves leather chaps, which are quite an interesting item. While they are the weakest form of chaps, the only store in the game that sells them is located in the Ranging Guild. The only other source than crafting them myself would be Adventurer John if I was on a new main doing that route during the Getting Started with Range path in Members, or from beginner caskets themselves. But even if I had them, one of the easy clue requirements also needs leather chaps. It wouldn't make sense to sacrifice them to Charlie at this point anyway. So overall, only half of Charlie's tasks are doable at this point, and pretty well any other step from beginner clues can easily be completed with my restrictions, meaning his steps are kind of scary. There's a store in Varlamore called Cabato's Groceries that sells the raw herring at 10 GP a piece. So that's actually going to be one of the first areas that I'm aiming to unlock once I get to members, is unlocking Varlamore. So we are going to hold on to that for right now, and there's a good chance that we'll be able to do it. All right, so we're going to sell off all of our staffs over to Mr. Zaff, who will give us 825 GP a piece. Sold off all of our staffs, and we're just going to sell off our steel plate body. All right, so 10,000 gold, our first 10K. Time to continue on with the rest of the quests that I have in line here. Let's continue on with our Shield of Erev. Where can you tell me about the Phoenix Gang? And we're going to get through and do all this. Blah, 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 trouble. Okay, here's 20 coins. All right, so I've been given instruction to go kill Johnny the Beard in order to prove my loyalty to the Phoenix Gang. I think in order to do that, we should probably get our hands on a weapon. So let's grab up an iron sword, I believe, would probably work out the best. All right, we'll just go on accurate for right now. And Johnny the Beard is right here. Let's go get that intelligence report. Alright, I did it gaining just 36 experience points, plus probably some hit points experience. Do not bury the bones, that is my first instinct, but I am needing to not bury those right now. So what I was going to do was get my main over and get it for this, but then I came across this guy that's already on Black Arm's side, so I'm just going to give him the key and we'll get this done up. Alright, we're going to add this guy as a friend. Give him my half of the shield. Gives me my 2 copies of my claim check, and then I'll just meet him right here. All right, and thank you very much. Let's go get this quest finished. Now turn them into King Rolled. I get 1 quest point and a little bit of GP. So I noticed that in my bank I still had these steel plate legs from when I was doing the picking things up earlier, so we're just going to go quickly sell those off in Al Kharid. We're just going to go start Rune Mysteries. I don't think I'm actually going to do much with the quest at all. Probably just pick up as many of the air TRs as possible. Hello, Duke Horatio. Do you have a quest for me? Yeah, what is it? Talisman, Start Rune Mysteries quest. I'm going to stop there for right now, just because I want to look a couple things up. I want to see how many air tiaras you can make to get to the point that you're able to start doing Guardians of the Rift. All right, I have just received membership for the account. I just went and purchased it. Time to go ahead. I decided to join my own clan, rent-free. Shout out to the team. Been waiting for this. All right, let's do it. think it's just the Guthix Halo. Let's see. Yep, that's all of them. That's the full Castle Wars collection log completed. It feels good. Let's put on that Halo. Yep, I've been a little bit busy off on the side. That's all for the first phase of the account. Was 100% needed. Was 100% needed. All right, and we're just going to keep on that Guthix Halo because it's one of the only things that I can wear right now. And it's going to be a perfect point for the balance that I have to keep in this account. Constantly aiming to balance the collection logs and just everything. Yes, Maddie, that was 39 all at once. And I'm going to call that the end of episode 1. The plan is well in motion, and our next steps are nearly guaranteed. If you want to see how this progresses, be sure you click that subscribe button and give a like to feed the algorithm, or I'll be hunting you down for the next episode. Stay safe, and may the RNG fall in your favor.